Hello and welcome. I am so glad you're here. I'm Beth, a creator-based coach with CMH Coaching for Life. I'm here today to help you and those you love create a life you feel grounded and at home in. Think of a life where you feel peace, love for those around you, and in a flow with just enough challenge to keep you happy and creating something wonderful. Sounds like magic, but it's not. You can create that life every single day. You can have a life full of love, excitement, hope, and creation. Our mission at CMH Coaching is to flood the earth with light through compassion, mindfulness, and hope. And I'm going to ask a favor of you. If you like what you see and hear today, think of someone you know that would enjoy and benefit from this message. Our mission is to flood the world with compassion, mindfulness, and hope. Share this with them. But for now, this is time just for you. So settle into whatever you're doing and enjoy this time with the girls, where we create that one awesome, amazing, perfect life every one of us is seeking.
You gotta watch your thinking. Watch your thinking. Watch your thinking.
It's a Monday. It's kind of an odd thing, but it's been a Monday all day.
It has been. Yes.
Yeah, it has. But we want to welcome you to A Creator-Based Life, the weekly podcast for CMH Coaching. We empower women of faith, even on Monday, to create the lives they love, the lives they've always wanted, because it is possible any day of the week. I'm here with Jacine Bonnet, a business coach, a mom, a grandma, and an avid runner, and Jennifer DeRoos, a coach, a can grow anything gardener, and a hypnotherapist. And I'm Beth, a master life coach, an author, and the creator of The Creator-Based Way. Create your one awesome, amazing, perfect, incredible life, because you can do that if you want to. And even on a Monday, we can do that right here in this place. I keep saying that because Saturday I got a little bit of a stomach virus, and just my stomach just hurt Saturday and Sunday. And today it doesn't hurt so much, but I'm just droopy. So it kind of just, even though my day's been lovely, it feels like a Monday, because I'm still droopy, getting over being sick. But it's the last week of Hope Week. Oh,
Yes.
we made it. Yeah. And I hope that it's brought everybody some extra hope and light this month. February can be such a dreary month. It's a month we really need some extra hope. But at my house today, it's 90 degrees and the sun's out.
I have snow flurries. Like literally.
I feel guilty. It's so beautiful out there today.
Well, it's 63, so we have a good day today. We have a spring day today. I was outside, so I'm not going to complain, but 90, wow.
Oh my gosh. And the air is soft and it feels like, a day you want to go to the beach. It's just beautiful. It won't last. It's a fluke because tomorrow it's only going to be in the 60s, but it's been so great. It's been so
Oh my gosh, that's so cool. Yeah.
Yeah. So last month, y'all, we talked about inspired goals, remember? Goals that feel immediate, strong, narrow, or I should say narrow, strong. Otherwise, it wouldn't say inspired. Precise, inspired, experienced, and declared. And this month, we've talked all about hope and about self-care. But we want to talk about just a little touch base with the inspired goals. So, do you remember your inspired goals? It's okay if you don't. It's totally okay if you don't. Because for me, I was like, goals? What goals? It's 90 degrees outside. The sun's out. Are you kidding? Why would there be goals? Right? But do you remember your goals? I know Jen does. Jen, tell us about your project and how you're remembering so well.
Well, it's because I have various notebooks for the various things I'm doing in my life, like one for projects, strictly for projects, one's for the business stuff, and then one's for my personal routines and rhythms that I want to create in my life. So
yeah,
I'm just staying
And
on
it's
top
a
of
year
that.
where you're just on it, right?
I'm just
You're
on
just
it. Like I said, who am I? I don't know, because this is the first time in my life that I've stuck with stuff like this. And
Yeah.
it's going to sound really super strange, but words are really big for me. And goals and habits have such a negative experience in my life of
Yeah.
never being able to attain them or obtain them or like keep them up and everything. And so I've changed the verbiage. So I don't do inspired goals. I do inspired projects, and I don't do inspired. I don't do habits. I don't change habits or build habits. I do inspired rhythms or inspired routines in my life, because I want it to be something that'll, like a habit, will remain. But man, I just don't know who I am. I like it. I just don't know who I am.
Yeah, I'm loving it. It's so fun to see you all enthused and doing stuff. And
Like,
it
wait
goes
a
to show
minute.
life is always seasons, right? It's just up and down and up and down. And when you're in the down season or you're in a quieter season, you know it's going to come up again.
Mhm.
And when you're in a busy season, it's a great thing. And you know it's going to come down again too, that you won't always be as busy as you are. It's just what life is. It's 50-50. Just 50. Yeah, well, I have goals. I have 4 of them written down on a little bookmark in my scriptures. And if I didn't have them written down, I would not remember them, because I get busy with life. And I mean, we have beautiful weather days, and I'm just like a little kid. I'm just gone. What about you, Jacine? How's it going for you? Inspired goals.
Inspired goals. It's interesting. One of the things that being in the chiropractic world, one of the things that really resonated with me is to look for, I get the question that I'm looking to answer is twofold. So the first one is, what does it look like to be in alignment?
I like the idea of being in alignment.
Right? To be in alignment. And in the chiropractic world, that means that we don't have pinched nerves. That means that we are taller. That means
We're not in pain.
right. And more than that, that the pain is, we've got mobility. We were able to be mobile. We're able to have um just
Resilience.
yeah,
That's really, I think of
resilience. Yeah.
resilience with alignment, because everything's
Yeah.
functioning as it should and it's self-healing.
Yes, and we've got stability as well. So, we've got the mobility, we've got the alignment, we've got pain, and then we've got stability. So we call it MAPS. And as I'm in alignment, what does that look like? And so for me, you all know that I have been
You were
suffering
a little out of alignment there for a little while.
yeah, physically, because of the allergic reaction that we
Mhm.
had to the paint. So how do you get an alignment when you're physically suffering and you're doing the best that you can, right? What does alignment work look like during that period of time, right? And
Mhm.
then how can I trust that nothing has gone wrong, right? And how can I trust that this suffering is going to not not be for naught? That's a double negative, but how would you say that? Like it's
It will be for your good
yeah, it'll be for my good. There's purpose in this,
yeah,
right? Suffering ceases to be suffering
when
when
you
I
understand the
yeah,
meaning behind it. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So those were my two biggies. And I know it's kind of a weird goal, I guess, but my goal is to just be paying attention and
Love
learn.
that.
Yeah. So those were my goals that I wrote down.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit more about being in alignment during hard times.
Hmm.
I just feel like all of us, especially February, March, April, when we have the good times, the bad times, when it's like I remember in Michigan where I grew up that it would be April and there would still be snow on the
Yeah.
ground. By
Yeah.
the end of April, the snow is gross. You
Oh yeah.
know,
Oh
it's
yeah.
dirty and everything's gray and the salt splash on all the vehicles. It's just really
Right.
ugly. Yeah. And so during those hard times, what do you what works for you to stay in alignment? At least for me, alignment means resilient. Like I said, it means being able to be connected to my creator and know it's all going to work out for my good. And it is working for my good. And that gives me patience.
Mhm.
I
In
read
that,
this quote that the only thing that is constant is change. The only thing you can really rely on is change. So
that's
Troy's
that's
what Troy's been
right.
saying for 45 years, man.
I know. So it's
But
like,
for
you know,
me, it's
at,
about rearranging furniture. Keep
yeah,
them in the front door. The furniture would be different.
so like at some point this is going to change. And
Yeah.
Mhm.
I sometimes like if I can just write it out,
Mhm.
some point this is going to change. And that's what helps get me through some of those times that I'm like, you know, maybe it is just getting through it. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and April goes to May and May goes to June, and then it's warm and beautiful again.
Mhm.
Yeah. It will change.
I
What are you
I think
thinking, Jesse?
I think what I've been learning is just this continual, it's not linear, you know. I'm growing. I'm
Mhm.
getting up the mountain. Um, it's self-care. Like self-care is so important. And I am that person that is like, I don't have time for self-care.
I'm just going to push harder.
Nope, just push harder. You know, I don't have time. I've got to get this, blah, blah, blah. All these fires that need to be put out, all this rescuing I need to do because I can solve all those problems, you know, all so much. But when you get sick, like we got sick,
Yeah. You
all
guys
I,
were sick for nearly 2 months, right? It was
yeah,
a
oh
long
yeah,
time.
a long time, a long time. So when that happens, that was what I could focus on is self-care. And you guys were so good at helping me with that, you know, and accepting that. That was the cool thing, leaning into it and accepting it. I'm doing the best that I can with what I have. And for me, that helps with alignment. We have patients all the time that are saying, I don't have time for this treatment plan. I just want to get out of pain.
Just fix it.
Just fix it. Yeah. Well, we can put a band-aid on it, right? Which is so often what we do in our lives. We're just putting a band-aid on it. That
Mhm.
doesn't fix it. We're not getting to the root of the problem. And for me personally, I found that self-care, being kind to myself, talking kindly to myself, giving myself permission to hurt, giving myself permission to try to find meaning in it. And what am I learning from it? Giving myself permission. You know, Brene Brown talks about she used to have to write herself permission slips to, right? So if you
Yeah.
can do it, do it. But for me, that's been really huge is just learning that I got to take care of me. I got to. And I have to make that time, or else my
Yeah.
body will physically say, you're done.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I'm going to make
You
you take
will make
care
time
of
for
it.
you.
Yeah. Guess what? Yeah. And we
Yeah.
see again all the time in the chiropractic world, you know, where you just don't take care of you until you can't move.
Yeah. Till your
Yeah.
stomach.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Or your
That's
clothes don't
fun.
fit anymore.
Yeah.
Well,
You
there's
take more.
that.
Yeah.
There is
Hopefully
that.
you do. Hopefully that happens before your body quits and you go to the chiropractor.
Right. That's right.
Oh
One of
man.
the things that I watched with you when you were sick was your connections. You
Mm,
had a really strong vertical connection
mhm,
with God and with those connections. And you deliberately maintained lateral connections
mhm.
with the people around you. And you reached out. And I bet you that made a huge difference.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Just,
that connection is huge. Knowing that you don't have to be in it alone and letting go of shame, letting go of embarrassment, letting go of whatever it is, that pride, you know, that I can't do it, but
I got this.
letting go of that and pulling others into your circle or allowing others to come into your circle, right?
Yeah.
Kind
Yeah.
of Yeah, is just so powerful. It reminds me of the movie that Meet the Fockers or something like that. My husband loves that movie, but he's like, this is the circle of trust, right? A small circle. Like there's only like 5 people allowed in this circle of
Not room for anybody else, huh?
right? And it's just like, man, how limiting is that?
Yeah.
What does your circle of trust look like? Don't you want it to be, bigger? I can and I will trust, right?
I can and I will.
So, yeah.
Right. Right. Yeah. I love it. I love it. Well, self-care, like you brought in, is so critical, so important. But what we started last week to talk about pertaining to goals and pertaining to self-care is this gift of forgetting. And I just am kind of wondering, as you move forward from this February to February of 2025, what kind of things you'll hang on to from this illness, this allergic reaction, this being out of pace, with your regular life for the last couple of months between this year and next year. And that kind of got it started. Well, and you might just kind of ponder a little bit, what is it that you want to hang on to? Because this is a Michael Pollan quote, and we brought it up last week, but then we were a week ahead of ourselves. We're always ahead of our time, girls. We just are. This is what Michael Pollan said. It is only by forgetting that we ever really drop the thread of time. I love the sections of this quote. It is only by forgetting that we ever really drop the thread of time and approach the experience of living in the present moment. So elusive in the ordinary hours. In my mind and my heart, that's the time where my body integrates, where my heart integrates, where my mind integrates. And I'll say it again, it's only by forgetting that we ever really drop the thread of time and approach the experience of living in the present moment. So elusive in the ordinary hours. This is a gift, and this is a backwards law, the gift of forgetting. And it ties into our backward law, do less, expect more, in as an offshoot of do less, expect more. But forgetting, when we forget, we drop the thread of time. Now, I know I run a tight schedule. Monday through Friday, I've got my scheduler. I'm booked. I know JC and you are too. Booked almost every single hour of the day. It's a tight thread of time. But when I forget, when I come into the present, there is this shift in my body that feels so comfortable, right? By forgetting that we drop that thread of time and approach living in the present moment. And those ordinary hours, that's my agenda. That's my thing. It's so elusive in the ordinary hours.
I think you did that this morning, Beth.
Say that again.
I think you did that this morning.
Oh, I did opt. Okay. So for those of you who weren't part of our miracle call this morning, I opted out. I got up this morning to a text from Jared. The weather here has been so beautiful. He's been going out in the morning and making a fire in our fire pit that's down on our acreage. And this morning I woke up to just a happy text. Hey, I'm at the fire pit if you want to come sit. And it was before sunrise. Yeah. And so I sent a text to the girls and said, I'm not going to be there this morning. Hope I didn't worry you, but that's all I had time. And grabbed my slippers and my bathrobe. Note to self, next time, take a jacket, and head down the hill to go sit around the fire with Jared. And we were there for probably an hour. It was long enough that he added wood to the fire. We watched the sunrise. We played with the dog. We watched the trash men pick up the trash. There was the mundane. But just, we were out of the daily, the ordinary, and just had that beginning. And when I came in, it's true, Jen, my shoulders were lower.
I was so proud of you.
Thinking about my 9 o'clock appointment.
I'm like, she didn't do her schedule. I'm so proud of her.
Hey,
I did. I just sat by the fire and talked to my kid. Yeah.
But it was awesome. Present living.
Yeah.
Present living. There's a place for both. I need my schedule or I don't get my stuff done. But at the same time, we really do need to forget about that from time to time. JC, what were you going to say?
Well, what if we expand that too? What if when you move into that next meeting or that next to-do item, what if you could move from that? The only way I could do that, I have to just give you an example. So
Give me an example.
right before this call, I had a meeting with Jess from Health Source of Pasco, Washington. And before that, I was just boom, boom, boom with my schedule, right? Boom, boom, boom. And then I get in with Jess. Actually, right before that, my son had sent me some music. So I had like 2 minutes to listen to that.
Oh, it was an oasis.
Oh my gosh, it just calmed my whole spirit down, right? It's just like this beautiful, and so when I got on with Jess, I I was fully present with her and I
Mhm.
dropped the time. And during our time together, it was so good that I didn't even think about what was up next or what the rest of my day was looking like, right? All of my other ones, I was on this, okay, got to do this, got to do this. I was
And
always,
you have one eye on the clock.
yes, I was always thinking ahead, what's next on my to-do list.
Mhm.
But with her, I was fully present in that 45 minutes I had with her that, oh my gosh, and it was beautiful. And it was
Oh,
like just this peace and serenity. So
well, and
what
that's where I
we
find I
did,
have fun. That's when I have fun with my work,
mm,
is when it's suspended.
yeah. So if we could drop the thread of time and be fully present with who we're with.
Okay, so
Oh,
how do we do that then?
whew,
Okay,
I,
well, I can tell you a couple things that I do that work for me, and that'll kind of get things going. Jen, did you have one you want to share first?
Well, no, just some of this when I'm doing with clients, the first thing, I do if they are comfortable with it is have a prayer with them.
Yes.
And that helps me to be very present. This is what we're doing. We're focusing on that individual.
mhm, love
Yeah.
that.
Um, Physical. I need physical, tactile input to stay present.
Mhm.
So I'll wiggle my toes. Or one of my favorite things, like if my brain doesn't want to function, especially if I'm reading, is I'll rub my hands across the page of the book and feel the page of the book.
Yeah.
I need the physical, tactile presence to bring me out of my head and back into that space. When I am with someone to stay present, I really focus on their face. And sometimes I see wrinkles. That's always fun. Or sometimes I see the twinkle in their eye, but I really focus on their face. And for some reason, the focus on their face opens my heart and I can feel things better. But I need that eye to eye, that direct contact. But
Mhm.
that brings me present.
Mm.
Yeah. And then it's fun. I just can't, it's so different.
Yeah.
Having one eye on the clock going forward or being fully present and immersing, because that's when life gets fun, is when you're all the way there.
Oh man. And that's when most of the work happens, right? Because it's been proven you cannot multitask, people. You
It's,
cannot. It's
it's
just
Yeah.
no,
Even
that's
if you're
not gonna work.
female,
it's
the
not a
secondary
function of your
studies said
brain, but
women
something has
multitask
to drop.
better. Yeah, but you can't. It doesn't work.
Yeah, something has
Oh,
to drop. Yeah.
right. So
Mhm.
I was just thinking, like, just when you were saying tactile, just the tapping,
Mhm.
starting here and tapping. And
Mhm.
I just was doing that under here, and I'm like, that does just, it makes my eyes open wider. I really yeah, I forget about that. But yes, it's so good.
It has been a while since I tapped. Yeah.
Yeah.
I sometimes like if I don't do this with clients or if I'm talking to somebody, but if it's like if I'm reading or studying or doing some type of work that it's just me and I can't be present in it,
Mhm.
I find if I step away from it and go walk or go do something that completely breaks I don't know what, then come back, I can be more invested in it. So sometimes to me, I have to like walk away from it and then come back
Yeah.
to be
Love that.
present with it. I wouldn't do that with a client. Excuse
I'll be
me.
right back.
I'll be right back.
Excuse me, I need a little jog around the house. Give me two.
Exactly.
I'll be back.
Mm.
I love that. But it's true. Being fully present is what makes life beautiful and magical. But let's go back and just take that presence and take it back into the backward law of forgetting. This is a new thought, this quote of Michael Pollan's, that it's only by forgetting that we can experience the living in the present moment. And to think that forgetting is actually a gift. Now, for those of us who are older than 45, and in our American society, it's not like this in all societies, but for those of us who are over 45 in American society, forgetting is shameful. Forgetting is dementia or less than or some kind of a failure in an ageist belief.
A deficiency.
Deficiency, exactly. So he's really speaking strong words here when he says that forgetting is a gift.
Well, I think about, like, when were the times when I was all in on something? Like, it was just like I was so present that no thought was in my mind, nothing. I was just so like just engrossed in what was happening. And I think a lot of those were the times when I was experiencing something like really thrilling or like just like this is amazing or awesome or like that. And I'm like, I wonder how I could get to that space of forgetting everything to be able to be just in the moment and experiencing the moment. So I don't know.
I think self-care is key to that. I think that when you're in the habit of giving yourself attention and getting out of your own head, that it's a lot easier to be present on the regular. I mean, I'm not a roller coaster fan, but I can't honestly imagine riding a roller coaster and planning my appointments for the next day.
No.
But there are things in life that are that exciting and that intense for me to be fully present. Yeah.
I think there's a kind of a disservice that's happening in modern society with that, because you do see some people on that roller coaster, instead of just like thrilling it, doing this.
Oh yeah, right?
Yes.
And whatever
you're not experiencing it,
is not going to replicate the experience.
Yeah.
I think it's almost like we're teaching ourselves not to be engaged and not to be forgetting and be present.
Boy, that is a whole nother podcast series we could do, right? On distraction and on media, just in general. The way we use media to buffer. Yeah, because I know, guilty as anybody, if I've got a difficult emotion and I pick up my phone, I can temper that difficult emotion by distracting myself with whatever's on my phone. Yeah, rather than fully living.
But why not teach yourself that I'm having this experience, so why don't I remember it and be present in it with all senses?
Yes.
Not worrying about recording it for later, which it won't even have any of the same feel.
No, it would be so different.
I'm like, how can I do that? I mean, every experience, or trying to have the experience of being present. Yeah.
Fully present. Okay, so let's kind of wrap this all together for everybody that's here. Let's give some tools. If you wanted to have a better presence practice so that you could be fully in the moment, what works for you? For me, it's leaving my phone. That's huge. And I get a lot of flack. My kids finally bought me a watch so they could find me. But even my watch, all it does is buzz, and that's turned down. Nobody can reach me that way. But at least, But for me, that's leaving my electronics and being where I am. I know one of my dear friends tells me, be where your feet are. You know, and that's that tactile experience. Where are your feet? What about you guys? What do you do to be fully present?
I don't know, because I'm sitting here thinking about this, because so being fully present, I honestly would have to have a reason to be fully present, because I do a lot of creativity and daydreaming and planning in my head. And I mean, I even do that when I'm out, like feeling I'm being present in nature. I still do that, you know, especially when I'm
having a conversation in your head. Yeah.
And so I'm all like, So I think I have to have a reason to be absolutely present, like like if a person or a project in front of me. But I'm kind of thinking, but is that, I mean, I don't know. I like being out and all over in my head and
Yeah, me
creating.
too.
I like doing that too. So I'm just kind of like going,
What are we going to
would
do
being
with
fully
this?
present without anybody being there be boring? You know, just being with
Well,
me, you know?
single tasking is now truly the challenge.
Oh, it is.
I've trained for years and years, probably 40 years, where I've maybe 50 now, where I've been training with multitasking. And I
Yep.
am really, really good at multitasking. But what I find is when I spend a lot of time multitasking, I get this internal chaotic pressure that just begins to build up.
Mhm.
Some people call it stress.
Mhm.
Mhm.
And it just begins to build up. And then pretty soon I can't really keep a coherent thought. My brain's just kind of all over the place.
Mhm.
And so when I stop to single task, like just plant a seed in the garden, not plant the whole package, not dig the whole row, just go out for planting a seed in the garden, which all kinds of arguments happen in my head, right? Because the
Right.
lack of efficiency and the what difference will it make. But to do that, that brings me present
Mhm.
because then I have to settle in with all of the arguments that are in my head and recognize them and honor them and let them have their moment. And you know what else happens? There's a lot of emotion that comes up because I finally stopped squishing the emotion down.
Mm.
So, yeah, it's really interesting.
No, no, I'm going
But
to think about this.
yeah, I think, and it would be a good challenge for everybody to just kind of think of when in your life will you choose to single task? And when in your life will you choose? And I think this is the key is you're choosing to multitask.
Mhm.
When we're driving, we are multitasking. We
Oh,
just,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
yeah. But when we're reading a book, we don't have to multitask. We
Mhm.
could choose to single task or having a conversation with someone you love or stepping out into the morning sunshine and breathing the air. You don't have to be checking your phone while you're doing that. You could single task if you wanted to, if that works for you. So maybe a single task. What about you, JC?
Man,
What do you think? Go over maps one more time because I missed it when you were talking about it earlier. If I missed it, probably other people did.
single tasking versus multitasking or oh yeah.
Just what you would do.
Oh man. I got to practice this morning because literally my brain turned on at 2:30 this morning.
Oh, good morning.
Good morning.
I'm up,
Yeah,
so you need to be up.
yeah, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Solving clinics problems for them, doing, just
Oh my goodness.
and then so I'm like, okay, find my feet. All right, what do I feel? The sheets. Oh yeah, that feels really good. And
I
it
love when they're warm too.
it was a battle. It was a battle to keep because I would get to the point where I'm like, okay, I'm in this, I'm present, I'm listening to my breathing, to my husband's breathing, and then all of a sudden I'm solving another
There
problem.
goes the puppy.
Yeah. Or what's on my to-do list today? And
Uh-huh.
oh, wait, let's come back. Let's focus on this. So I think it's for me, it's a practice, it's you just sometimes most of the time that works really well for me and I can get back to sleep. Today, for whatever reason, maybe it was just for this podcast.
Maybe.
My experience of just bringing myself back, bringing myself back, bringing myself back. And, just, and then listening also to, like, I just had the thought, just snuggle up next to Mark,
And
just
feel
snuggle up.
that.
Yes. And then just feel how he's breathing. And that worked really well. I was able to go to sleep until he started moving. And then, and then it was back. But it's just that for me, finding what works. I wish I would have remembered the tapping because I could have tried that as well. But just continually kindly bringing myself back.
Kindly. It's like training my puppy. because
Yeah.
he's going to be a year old on Thursday. And I've just kind of been reminiscing a little bit this first year and how much he's learned and how much he's grown. But to begin with, all you could do is watch him because he was going to pee on the floor every 10 minutes, you know? And so all you could do is watch him. You follow him around, you look at him and you notice all the stuff that's going on. That's kind of what those thoughts are like, right? You just
Yeah.
kind of watch them while they're going all crazy like there. But I wasn't judging them. I
Mhm.
wasn't judging him. It was just he was my puppy, and this is what I expected was going to happen, and this is what I was going to do. And then over the course of the year, he house trained, and he's learned his tricks and his things. But he's still a puppy. I mean, all it takes is somebody to open the freezer door, and he's completely unglued in it because he knows there's a treat coming. Just like your brain, right? At 2 a.m. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
We treat our brains like puppies, and that's really, really good self-care.
Mhm.
Really, really good self-care. We started with goals. Let's end with goals. Inspired goals. I wrote them down and I can remember part of the acronym. I know the narrow. Let me find. Do you guys remember the strong? Oh, immediate's the one I couldn't remember. Immediate, narrow, strong, precise, inspired. Experienced is
Teachable.
my favorite. A time when you've experienced success in an area before. Yeah. And declared. And I hope that everybody that's listening can see how there's the gift of forgetting involved with your inspired goals. There's the gift of presence involved with your inspired goals. And there's the patience of training your puppy involved with your inspired goals, right? And so it's when we cross the line to March 1st on Friday, I think is March 1st. And
Yep.
you have forgotten your goals again, just think about it. It's just like training your puppy. Just bring it back, come back fully present, and just keep on keeping on with your self-care. And by this time next year, when we're talking about it, you go, like Jen, I don't even know who this person is.
No kidding. You're working out. You're like, there's so much that has changed, Jen,
Oh,
in your
yeah.
life.
Mhm.
So much. Yeah.
Yeah,
Woo.
and it's
You
just
know,
exciting.
there is one trick. Keep it before you.
Mhm.
So so it's like, oh yeah, that is right. Oh yeah, that is right. Just
You've got stuff planned on your calendar for the week, right?
I've got
You
stuff on my
actually give it
calendar.
forethought and plan
I've
it
got
out.
post-it notes on the wall. I mean, I've got
Mhm.
things written just so you keep it before you. So your brain is saying, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. So
Yeah, yeah.
And it can't be what I should do. You have to, I
mhm.
choose. This is what
I
I'm
choose.
choosing to do. Yeah.
Right. This is what I want. I'm choosing to do this because you want to stay in your creator position and be the creator of your life.
Mhm.
Yeah. So speaking of creator stuff, we have a jumpstart on Saturday that I'm really excited about. But before we get to the jumpstart talking, let's just go through the other days of the week. There's no mastermind tonight, even though it feels like we haven't had mastermind in forever. It's only the first and third, and this is not either of those Mondays. So there's no mastermind tonight, but there will be coming up next Monday. And then tomorrow there's Coach and Clear, just like always, where we get together and solve the problems of the world and walk away feeling better. And then Wednesday, we have book club.
Mhm.
You guys have got to be close to halfway on Jody Moore. I know you've been working on it pretty
Yeah.
diligently.
We decided to slow down because
Nice.
just so that we could put into practice what she's teaching. And it's been really, really cool. This week, we're going to be through chapter 7 and just really looking forward to the discussions that we have. And, again, we have people that are in their 30s all the way up to Anne, who is in her 80s. And
Mhm.
so it's a really, really cool, we get this whole picture, right?
Sounds
It,
rich.
it
Like
is.
there's a depth to it. Yeah.
It is. It's really, really incredible. And we learn from each other and we get to just confide in each other and help each other along. So it's a great group. If you want to join, you're welcome to join. It's in the Facebook for our 50/50 girls. The link is at the top, right, Beth?
Right at the top of the 50/50 page. Yeah. All you have to do is find the 50/50 Girl Club on Facebook. It's a group, it's a private group, and request to join. And we'll get the directions, get things going for you. And then you can be part of the weekly book club and all of the great things that happen on that page. It's really good. Yeah, it makes a huge difference in lots of lives. Then Thursday, we have office hours, but we're thinking the time's going to change on that one day soon because I'm going back to school for some more training, and that happens to be on Thursdays. And then Saturday's the jumpstart. So our jumpstart this time is nitty-gritty stuff. It's a worry control workshop. And we're going to do all different brainstorming of techniques on how we control our worries. The idea of existential dread. We're seeing a lot of it in the world right now, in the media, in the news, in the discussions of friends, just this existential dread. And what to do about worry and how to control that in your life. You know, you want to be able to have a little bit of concern about things because you want to be safe, but you don't need worry gone crazy. And as part of that, we're going to do a little bit of thought work, and we're going to do some aroma wisdom technique, which is a way of resetting your worry. And so if you're coming, we're on Eventbrite. All you do is the worry control workshop, look for an online event and sign up. I think we maybe got 8 seats left. So we got a few. And if you get in there before the weekend, you'll be able to show. Jen, did you have something you wanted to say?
No, I'm just sitting here going, yep. Oh no,
Yep.
I just moved my hands, so that's all.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So it's gonna be a lot of fun. I'll be at Aubrey's that morning. So I'll be coming to you live from Salina with 4 children and my laptop. But I'll be here, and it might be a real exciting meeting. Just see what happens. Yeah, it's gonna be good. Yeah. So this week, let's see what it looks like to be fully present for part of the time. And Jen, I'll be really interested to see what you come up with in the way balance, right? It's a really, really valid point. Sometimes we really need to multitask, but sometimes we don't. And
it's not even multitask. Like sometimes I'm out like in the garden, and I just, instead of being so like focused and present on just the one thing, I'm creating, and I'm having a good time in my brain. And I guess
I'm in God flow.
I think maybe you call that multitasking. I just let it go, you know. And so but like you're saying, I'm not there being present. So I'm kind of like, well, maybe I need to I've got to figure
this out.
I don't know. Maybe, but you know what? The practice might be really good because, you know, I got to figure this out. Got to figure it out. So
the practice of planting one seed at a time turns my head inside out.
It does me too, because I'm all like,
but I'm working on it because I believe in continual growth. So
yeah,
we're going to do it. So till next week, and hopefully we'll see everybody on Saturday at the Jumpstart. It's at 9 a.m. Central, and you can register on Eventbrite. So. Oh, I forgot one thing. Jacine, a month from the Jumpstart, there's another Jumpstart, but right after that, there's a special event coming up. We're about 6 weeks out now.
We are.
Anxiety Masterclass. Yeah.
Anxiety.
Can't forget that.
No. And guys, you can go to Eventbrite, look it up, Anxiety Masterclass. It's going to be, this is the first module. You get that for free. And it is going to blow your mind. Like, not in a bad way, but in a really good way. You know, something that I thought of this morning as I was waking is all of the voices that we hear all over the place. Which one can you trust? And that causes anxiety. You know, it's like, oh my gosh, I don't know. What if you could slow down and you could have compassion, mindfulness, and hope, and come to the Anxiety Masterclass, to that first module, and it will change your life. I know we've presented similar things for U Week, but this is a step above and beyond. So come.
Come. and learn how to live a life of compassion, mindfulness, and hope, which is a really lovely place to be. And I believe it offers single tasking and multitasking, just saying.
There you go.
So we will talk again soon. Bye, y'all.
Choose to be free, moment by moment. It's all up to me, 'cause what I think about, I bring about. That's the way it is, and there is no doubt. Day by day, I pave the way with every little thought I think.
Hey, thanks for joining us today in A Creator-Based Life. I hope you felt that compassion, mindfulness, and hope you came seeking today. You can find more of it at cmhcoaching.com or on linktree/cmhcoaching. Of course, any social media outlet, we're there too. Because you felt the benefit and light in this message, please invite those you care deeply about to join us. Help us to create a ripple effect across the globe of compassion, mindfulness, and hope. Then we can create a creator-based life together. Have a great week, y'all. We'll talk to you soon.
Choose to be free, moment by moment. It's all up to me, 'cause what I think